Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. So opinion and place are calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen like I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that we feel happen like I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB.
Welcome, this is WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning. It's the 30th day of January 2025. And we welcome you to the program this morning. I'm Nuri Muhammad, and we are looking forward to a good show today. As you know, we have certain steps that we go through before we get into the main conversation this morning. We do have some guests coming in, but I think we will still have some time to do some very necessary exchanges and passing our opinion on the issues that are affecting not only the United States, but certainly by extension what's going on here in our own country. Stay tuned. Let's go to Mr. It's Crystal this morning. Crystal Rosales will give us an update on the weather, and then we'll give you the news brief from our newsroom. Ms. Rosales?
Good morning. Mainly fair weather prevails over the country. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be sunny with some cloudy spells today. Showers will be isolated, with slightly more occurring offshore this morning and then over northern and central areas later today, which will gradually decrease. Then for tonight, skies will be clear to partly cloudy, with only isolated showers developing, if any. High temperatures for today will reach around 85 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. Then for tonight, low temperatures will reach around 76 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 64 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots, and sea conditions will be moderate. And then high tides occur around 11:08 this morning and 10:45 tonight. Low tides around 4:31 this evening and then at 5:43 tomorrow morning. The moon will rise at 7:24 this morning and set at 7:10 tonight, and then sunrise is at 6:25 this morning and sunset at 5:46 this evening. And in the extended forecast, generally fair weather with only isolated showers developing, if any, for Friday and Friday night. And in the sargassum update, impacts from sargassum are expected to remain minimal during the next few days. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
High Court Justice Rajiv Guntalki has dismissed the claim by Michael Finstein challenging the government's intention to compulsory acquire the 23.4-acre Stake Bank Island extension for the public purpose. They argue that the move to acquire the property, which is in Finstein's name, was unconstitutional. The trial occurred in December of 2024, and in his decision, Wednesday, the judge declared that the intended acquisition, which was gazetted on August 27, 2024, did not violate the Constitution, and importantly, that the reason cited for the intended acquisition is not inconsistent with our laws when it comes to the definition of public purpose. We hear first from Senior Counsel Eamon Courtney, the attorney for the Honduras company OPSA that brought over the Stake Bank debt from Atlantic Bank.
Mr. Feinstein challenged the law, the Land Acquisition Public Purposes Act, and maintained that it was unconstitutional. And then he also challenged the exercise by the minister under that law to start the acquisition process. So not only was he challenging the proposed acquisition in relation to his company, but also the law itself. The judge, in a very comprehensive judgment, found that he failed on both grounds. One, he found that the law is constitutional. He did a thorough analysis of all the cases that were presented by all the sides that were appearing in the case and concluded that the law was in fact constitutional, and that the argument by Mr. Feinstein that because there was no specific provision as to when he would get paid if his land was compensated, it was compulsorily acquired, that it was unconstitutional. The court rejected that. Insofar as the proposed acquisition, Mr. Feinstein argued that it was not in the public interest, that it was done in an abuse of power by the minister, that it was done to benefit some private individuals, and that there were alternatives. For example, Port of Belize, he had said, was an alternative, and so there was no need to take Stake Bank. Once again, the judge did not find favor with any of those arguments. First, there was absolutely no abuse of power. Two, there was no improper purpose. And three, there was no alternative. A central part of Mr. Feinstein's case was that this entire thing was not in the public interest. Of course, there is a mountain of evidence from Mr. Feinstein himself over the years saying that it was necessary to do Stake Bank in the public interest. And so his own words were used against him.
What happens if Finstein launches an appeal? Will that stop the government in its tracks from completing its acquisition of the extension?
From my client's point of view, which is OPSA, the Honduran company that had provided a substantial part of the financing and had partnered along with Mr. Feinstein in Stake Bank to advance this project, their position has always been that they have the finances to complete the project, but that because there was this dispute, internal company dispute with Mr. Feinstein, they would stall it until that was resolved. That dispute has not been resolved. As I understand it from my clients, they are quite keen to move forward. It is now a decision for the Minister of Natural Resources to determine whether he's going to issue the second notice, because there are two steps. The first notice, which is a signal that I am intending to, and that is what was challenged. The court has said, what you're doing is lawful, proceed. Or at least you're at liberty to proceed. The court didn't say he should proceed. He's at liberty to proceed. So I think he will now take advice from the Attorney General as to what is the next step for the minister to do. If the minister publishes the second notice, it means that State Bank, the extension, the portion that is in Mr. Feinstein's name, would immediately vest in the government. In the case, the evidence is that it would then hand that piece of property to the company itself. The government would pass it to the company, which would then free my clients to allow them to start continuing to do the financing of the project. Assuming, I mean, I haven't spoken to them for quite some time, but assuming that that's still, you have to go to court and ask the court to stay its judgment, or to go to the appeal court and ask the appeal court to suspend the effect of this judgment. So unless that is done, the minister is free to move forward with the acquisition. I think it is important, Jules. The judge went at great length to explain why it is in the public interest and necessary, having looked at all the evidence, why it is necessary for this project to move forward by way of a compulsory acquisition. There are tens of millions of dollars in duties that have been foregone by the people of Belize, essentially, and that based on the investment that has been put in. There is a legislation that has been passed by the National Assembly that has been amended, I believe, in 2017 to further assist. There is the definitive agreement between the government and State Bank to have this project move forward. And all these documents, all these things have said it is in the public interest. As you know, one of the points that was made in the case was that the number of cruise passengers coming to Belize is actually declining. Not because Belize is not an attractive destination, in fact it is, but it is the need to have a facility where the bigger ships can dock alongside. And therefore, this is one of the main motivations, I believe, for the Minister of Natural Resources to adopt this course that he's taking. The tourism industry, insofar as the cruise sector is concerned, is in dire need of a docking facility.
This is a big win for the government, but it is expected that the Feinstein Group would appeal. Costs were awarded against Feinstein. Police Commissioner Chester Williams yesterday released the damning video of the police-involved shooting of 24-year-old Emil Rivers in Independence Village on Saturday, 25th January, before 7 a.m. It is almost 4 minutes long and shows a back and forth with Rivers and 5 police officers who cornered him onto the veranda of a 1-story cement house. Rivers is armed with a machete that he found in the yard while trying to run from the police, but he is not seen advancing towards them. A 6th officer was recording the video. The cell phone footage shows that on 2 occasions, instead of standing, Rivers hoisted himself up to sit on the railing of the veranda. The only time that he took few steps towards the officers was after one grabbed a plastic chair and knocked him with it in an attempt to disarm him. But by that time, 2 or 3 warning shots had already been fired. Clearly exasperated PC Sheldon Arzu shoots Rivers to the stomach, even as he is just standing there, and there was therefore a clear shot of his feet or legs. Because Rivers still does not release the machete, another officer tells Arzu to shoot him in the foot. In response, Rivers says for them to shoot him in his head instead. At that, PC Arzu questions to the head and then fires off a shot that passes near Rivers' head. Rivers was shot at a distance of about 4 or 5 feet. Speaking about the video, Commissioner of Police said he will not pass judgment at this time as to whether PC Sheldon Arzu was in the wrong. Williams also declared that the wound to the back is an exit wound, and based on the video, we did not see that Rivers was shot a second time.
I will not say if he is in the wrong at this time. I have viewed the video. I have my opinion of it. And PSB currently has control of the matter. I do not want to say or do anything to influence the investigation that's going to be done, or that is being done by PSB. The video will be released to you, the media, for public consumption, and the public can also be the judge in terms of what transpired. And let me say that the young man in the video had assaulted Inspector Rosado, who is the officer in charge of Bella Vista, with a huge butcher knife, almost killing him. He was arrested, he was detained by the police, and he escaped from the police station. He was pursued to that location where the shooting happened by the police. There was a lengthy standoff while he wielded a machete at the police. Police fired, I think, 2 warning shots or 3 warning shots. He still did not surrender or put down the machete, and eventually it led to him being shot in his stomach. There is a whole series of things that the public don't know, and I think that the public ought to know to set the background as to what actually transpired.
Why does the police report have a knowing misrepresentation? It says that PCR Zoo, this is the internal report, shot him in the legs twice, or shot after him in the legs twice. I'm saying that there is purposeful misrepresentation of the facts perpetuated then by Mr. Romero. This is a worrying trend that brings the entire story into doubt. I know the video will clarify, but I'm saying that what I'm seeing here is a deliberate attempt to suppress the truth from the police department.
I don't think so, Jules. And I hope I'm right, but I believe that Mr. Romero was misinformed. I did not speak to Romero before he had that press brief with you all. I don't know what information he got. But from the incident happened, I was briefed by the Southern Regional Commander, and he briefed me that a young man was shot in his stomach.
But you have seen the internal report. If he read the internal report, that's why he was misinformed.
That is not what I think is in the internal report, no. Perhaps that's a briefing that he might have gotten from I don't know who, but if that is exactly what he said, I apologize to the public, because that is not what happened. The young man was shot in his abdomen from a front angle.
Do you see how it throws the whole narrative into question, however?
Certainly, yes.
Williams was then pressed about the re-enlistment of PC Sheldon Arzu, which occurred under his tenure. Arzu has been convicted of manslaughter and served 13 years in prison for killing a man inside the Kikaka police station in 2003.
PC Sheldon Arzu, is he your cousin?
Where do you get this from now?
I know you have many Arzus who are cousins. I have to ask.
I had a talk with my ancestors yesterday.
Okay.
And I was told that I do have some Vasquez in my family, so perhaps you are my family too.
Sir, all right, so explain to me the circumstances of his re-enlistment.
I guess the minister had explained that to you. He was enlisted under the previous administration on the request of Mr. Saldiva. At the end of the day, I don't want to go into the whole semantics of whatever, because if you are hypothetically, a convicted murderer, and someone comes to you and attack you, is it right to say because you're a convicted murderer you must not do nothing? I don't think that should be the case. We must look at everything based on the facts that exist. So I rather leave this until the investigation is done. Whatever PSB decides, then we'll go by that.
But I'm just asking, you were the police commissioner when he was re-enlisted. Did you look at it and say, convicted for manslaughter in a police station while on the job? I can't do this, Minister. As you had told Mike Perfit when he asked you to do something that you couldn't do. Did you look at it and say, I can't do it? Or did you just say, yeah, man, sure, no problem? That seems okay.
Of course, yes, at that particular time, he was enlisted as a special constable with the tourism police unit, right? And then subsequently, the minister had requested that he be given regulation number. I would oppose it. And I don't want to, of course I did. I'm not going to go into much details of that, but I'll say to you I oppose it. And from there, the rest is history.
The media also asked the Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Kareem Musa, about PC Arzu's re-enlistment.
The information that I gather is that he was re-enlisted in the police department in the last administration. I believe it was 2019. It wasn't under this administration. Having a criminal background or a criminal record certainly should be a bar to re-entering or being re-enlisted into the department. And so you'd have to ask the last administration, I believe it was Minister Perifit, as to what led to the Minister Saldiva, as to what led to the re-enlistment of Mr. Arzu.
What happens now in respect of the fact that his name is being called once again in a situation where someone got injured by his firearm, reportedly?
Again, someone with a machete. The last person he killed, he said they had a machete.
So I believe that matter currently stands with the Professional Standards Branch. I was made aware by the Commissioner that there is video footage, and while it is the policy of the department not to have a trial by media for every single incident that happens, I believe that this certainly warrants the media being in possession of that, and so I believe the Commissioner will be requesting PSB to share that video with the members of the media, just for transparency and clarity.
Sir, if you had your way, you said someone with a criminal conviction should not serve. He should not be in the department.
Again, that you'll have to ask the last administration.
Yeah,
my opinion, as long as I am the minister, and if you bring someone with a criminal record, I don't believe that they should be re-enlisted, no.
But he is re-enlisted.
I understand, but once he's there, you do understand that public service regulations, he would have to commit another breach, and then it would have to go to tribunal, and then disciplinary after that. And so the fact that he's re-enlisted, there's nothing much that I can do.
Addressing one final aspect of this matter, we asked the department to provide a copy of the police report regarding the assault of Inspector Rosado that led to the Two Rivers detention in the first place. The Commissioner provided that report, and while we note that he said Rivers assaulted Rosado, quote, almost killing him, unquote, the police report does not allude to such a grave situation. It merely narrates that Rosado ran into Rivers upon exiting the Belize Bank in Independence the day before he was shot. The report states, quote, his attention was drawn to a male person identified as Emile Rivers. Rivers appeared to be under the influence of some substance and was armed with a large knife tucked in his pants waist. Rivers took out the knife from his waist, at which time Inspector Rosado informed him of the offense committed, which is armed with an offensive weapon, and informed him to hand over the knife where he said no. Rosado informed him that he would be detained and cautioned him and tried to subdue him. At this time, Rivers resisted and started to struggle with Rosado, causing him injuries and his TCL brand cell phone, which is valued at $350, to be damaged. Other police officers came in aid of Rosado, and they were able to subdue Rivers and took away the knife from him, end of quote. Rivers is pending charges of assault to a police officer, resisting arrest, and escape from lawful custody. Speaking once more of the possibilities that Belizeans would be deported from the United States, the Commissioner of Police says only those who with a criminal past would be the concern of the police department.
Honestly, I do not keep track of all deportees, unless if they're a person who may have some violent or criminal past. And again, I see a lot of rumbling in the public domain in terms of what is going to happen to those persons who will be deported from the U.S. because the deportee law is there, which speaks to what must be done. But may I say that we are not going to treat all those people who will be sent back home as a deportee, for the simple reason that if you are living in the States, you are trying to make life for yourself and you did not have a criminal past either here or in the US, and then they decide to pick you up and send you back home. I don't think it is going to be right for us to have you reporting every week to the police station. And so in those instances, we're going to waive it. We're only going to have those persons who have some criminal past or who are being deported for criminal reasons. Those who are not for criminal reasons, we will waive the process. From what I would have been made to understand, they would have still been in custody, awaiting asylum hearing or whatever, so I don't know. But we have not been notified if they are among those persons who will be sent back shortly.
That's our news package for this morning, the 30th day of January 2025. We have more news throughout the day. One that comes up right after the program that follows us, that's about 12 o'clock. One at 3 o'clock this evening, and a full news broadcast at 5:15. All this on CREM Radio. Here on XTV at 6 o'clock this evening, we bring you the full news broadcast, and we hope that you will be in tune with that. It's now 2 minutes to 7 o'clock. We take a short break and come back and open up our phone lines. So this morning, to begin the conversation for this day.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and
All right, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Nuri Muhammad here on a Thursday, the 30th day of January 2025. And you're welcome to join us in the conversation. Our numbers here is 280-5848, and we welcome you to call at this time. Mr. Trump. If ever there was a time that the old Creole proverbs is accurate, it is this time. Now listen to the noise in the market, check your change. The amount of fake news that is crowding up social media and causing people to go in all kinds of directions without checking the facts is creating a stir. It is also creating a stir in Belize. You would be surprised. But in the United States, it's like going crazy. People right, left, and center are speculating on some of what they have heard is to take place and some of which has taken place. For example, this cut in Medicaid, which is an essential service that has been provided for Americans for decades, which provides them an opportunity, as it says, Medicaid, it's an opportunity to access health services, the actual examination, paying for procedures, for prescriptions, etc. It is a very serious blow to many Americans, especially the elderly. That's like our own NHI here in Belize that we're trying to expand the governments. Both governments have been trying to make it a nationwide service because health is an essential part of your population's priority list. And so to cut that, the claim is that there is so much, to use our own local term, hanasi going on in the federal government of the United States, that the advisors of Mr. Trump has given him a list of things. I'm not alluding to the 2025 project, but if you do read that, it has a very strong sense that there's some agenda being unfolded in the United States, and this 2025 document gave people a hint as far as 2 years ago as to what a person in the position of president having influences over the federal government and, in fact, beyond the federal government may do in the United States. So when people are seeing mass deportation claims, people are seeing what is happening in this plan to cut medical aid to citizens, it's an alarm. All right, here's our first call. All right, welcome.
Yes, greetings in the name of the Most High Allah. Salaam alaikum, Brother Nuri.
Wa alaikum assalam, Brother Ramadan.
I just want briefly, as you mentioned, the NHI in Belize, that I have been denied the NHI right, and I've tried to put it so that somebody listen to it, that I am registered for the past 5 or more years in the NHI program to the Mercy Clinic, now that with my vision problem. Yeah. But I realize that every time I ask for the service, the BCBI in Belize City keep denying and telling me that they are a private clinic that is only renting from the government, but other people tell me otherwise. So I just want to know why they are denying this. I need my medicine for my eye at the NHI price, but they keep denying it. They at one point tell me that the drops was $90, but they were selling it for $40 to me, while I know that is not so, because the other private clinics, they're selling it for $40 too. So I've been telling, at one point they were selling it for $20, which is what I believe the NHI price. But all of a sudden, they keep denying for the past 2 years that they provide the service in NHI, and that's it. They just keep denying. And one last point I wanted to mention, you, besides from greeting you, I wish you well and that Allah bless you and be ready for the coming Ramadan.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned about a week ago, I think,
No, it wasn't a
that
week ago. When I was here the last time, because I've been
the
away
last
for
time you were
2
there,
weeks.
you mentioned that on the telephone, the smart telephones is a device that is always almost like a spying on you, listen to your conversation, etc. But also, I heard for the past 20 years that also the smart televisions have a hidden microphone and a hidden camera. With that, I say again, Salam alaikum.
Okay, wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for the call. Yeah, I don't know the details of your concern with the NHI, but there is a way for you to follow through and try to get the facts of exactly why you're being denied. I know that you've moved from one district to the next district. I don't know whether or not the coverage is there. I can't speak for them. I'm not representing them. But I'm just saying common sense is that you would perhaps have to speak to somebody official and make them tell you exactly why the cost of a medication that is required for your eyes is costing you what it's costing you, or you're being denied that access. So you have to do a little due diligence there, my brother. Yeah. Yes, welcome.
Morning, brother.
Yes, morning, brother.
Sorry to my brother.
But I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I had a little break, and so it gave me a little reboost, so to speak. Then you try convince me good while that I should have taken one siesta every day, but I can't do that siesta thing. Yeah, that's my therapy is the exercise, yeah.
We're activists in this country. How many people are activists? Yeah. And there are people like the good governor that would call me like Mr. Hunts, that in Hunts. But a man when he bark in the raga, you see what happened with them. They get a power butter. They know. They are right. They accept. You got the other man at the ground, like by a pocket. You got by a soul. I guess the same way. They get at the end, silent. You see, we have to be real. We have to be real. And that's a serious thing, because we got a lot of brothers and sisters out there with the suffer. And I always about myself. I don't want to join no organization. I want to fight for you. I fight along with you. But you don't have to stand up. And I call to the people across this country. And I talk like teachers, sanitation workers, the people at the health sector, especially the nurses, the attendants, the security, and the call for the police officers, the PDA, the Coast Guard, and the call for all the people at the government sector, all the workers in the got. When they come to your house, and I want this across the board, they want $125 increase in salary across the board. Any of it, over the UDT, PUP, we want to increase our salary across the board. $125 increase due to the cost of living. We talk about gas prices for the money of the gross, so whether the money have the value or not. The money don't the value. When you go and shop for $100 after you get certain amount of items, you need to get about half. So your money the value. Because the cost of living is high. So once they have to commit any of them and take the deal into government, they are really $125 across the board. If they don't go, if they can't do that, they don't go there and deal with their people. I know where to tell them. Some people take risks. You ride past police checkpoint, I talk to police officer. I serve to some of them. Serious, I serve to some of the brothers and sisters. I serve to sanitation workers where they see the struggle. People have very good jobs. They can save 1 cent. One time when they put up all these things with the PA, you can't save nothing, they're behind. And I tell other people that's a very good jobs. Where they work with government public officers. teachers can come to me sometime. I have to help you out with all my trade and mechanics. I don't have the money right now in the class. So once I get the pass, I can help you. I have to wait for it. I don't have no problem. And this is how it happens in this country. When you take rate, light bill, water bill, phone bill, whatever, they say light bill are gone up, but many people and bill are gone up. Like they just raise the thing and not tell you nothing. Serious. So across the board, I don't make them tell you nothing more essential worker. I don't know that's a term they use to try to use you. Because you don't really essential today. You know, friends, family, and cronies, and then are essential. Whether they hustle, and then they live good. Across the board, we want $125 raise.
I want to ask you a question.
That's where the money I come from.
Yeah.
You can't find money when I need it.
Let me ask you a question. Because you are a regular caller and me and you go back decades. And I don't ask this for any other reason except that you are a person who is older and you've been around for a long time. When was there a time in Belize when things were going so well, everybody was doing well, finances was there, we were meeting our expenses, things were good, almost like we never need politics because we were living so good in a good country. Can you remember that time?
I knew that away, but I thought that maybe I was tempted.
I can't hardly ask you because I can't recall. I recall that at every point in our history over the last 42 years, we have never really gotten to that level where we could say, boy, everybody look like they're all right and things look like, boy. Rather than talk only about the government, you could talk about whether it was a PUP or a UDP. When was the time? Think about it. When was the time that we could really say, boy, this country, look here, they really, you know, everybody, they get them part. Nobody is left out. Can you remember that time?
I know I'd say about maybe, you know, the 70s or 80s, things are better.
Okay.
Things are better, but I'm going to make one better life.
Okay.
I didn't tell you the truth. But since it get worse and worse, it go right down. With the technique, I didn't tell you, with the technique. People always say, you know how when people go buy their way back days and the better days. And though the money, they don't make get much pay, but things may cheaper. But now they get better pay, but things there. And this is where the problem come in. Yes, they get better pay, but the price of good is too high.
Yeah. You know,
you can't meet your needs.
Yeah, you know, you make a good point because usually when people talk about devaluation, they're thinking about, well, the government, like, you know, in the start of our nationalist movement, that the government take one arbitrary decision for just devalue your dollar. But now, devaluation is the fact that inflation is going up and going up and going up. So you can't buy where you used to buy with a dollar. And so therefore, that is a devaluation in real time. But the official, we are going to devalue because of certain circumstances. That not happened yet. When they launched this new money, that was the point that they were trying to drive home because of this fear that this new money is somehow going to be less than $2 Belize to $1 American. But the reality is that the dollar is not buying what the dollar used to buy some years ago. So in fact, it is in real time a devaluation, which may not necessarily be the fault of the government because it's a worldwide situation. That's one of the things that Mr. Trump is saying he has solved. I don't know how he can do it, but the reality is that the cost of living is going up across the board, my brother. And then people at the top, they suck and they suck and they suck and they make sure that they get theirs regardless to who at the base of the pyramid not to get for anyone. So yes, there is a devaluation. Yes, we can't reach and make the money where we need, especially our police officers and our people who are working in certain areas, our school teachers. There's always the clamor that, look, the money is not enough. But I don't believe, you know, that we are going to reach that point where we not got that same concern even a few years from now. And I don't care what kind of adjustment the government want to do, we will still have a significant amount of our people will still need handouts, need help, have to resort to all kind of behind the scene and underbelly kind of thing in order for them to live the kind of life that they want to live. That's just the reality, and it's not just the reality for Belize. When you study and you read it, the one thing where they affect all of us. Only the rich and the very rich is really comfortable in this environment over the last couple of decades. They're not we, the bottom people. We are struggling. We are trying to find our salaries in order for us to meet. So I thank you for the call, brother, and I'm glad that you're pointing it out, because we need to constantly be looking at this reality that we face. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for listening, brother. God bless. Huh?
The same to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, our number here, 280-5848. Like I say about this noise in the market, there was advice that our parents used to tell me, because when a little boy got a market and he got a certain amount of money, and a granny or auntie or whoever sent on a market, he gets so distracted by, some of you older persons can remember where the Belize market used to be, like the Bridgefoot. You get in there and it's a whole situation, the fish, the McNider, this one, the McNider, the fish, both the comine, etc., etc. And as a young child, it's very easy for you to get caught up in that and forget to check your change. So that when you get home, your mom, your auntie, your granny look for your change and realize that you're short. And in those days, if you're short on a copper or 5 cents, it was big money. So that advice has moved from the practicality of check your change to telling you the noise in your environment, the noise on Facebook. I read where there was a concern that Mr. Trump has revealed that Mr. Biden has allocated, or in the last part of his administration, allocated $50 million for condoms to be handed out to Palestinians. Man, that is absurd. It's wild. And the suggestion is that, see, the man they try prevent picnic from come in the Palestinian population, so then they send condoms. It's fake news. But the fact is, people believe it. And people who are commenting on it are commenting on it as if it is justified. They say, yeah, we need to slow down the population there anyhow. But in reality, those same people who are talking said nothing about the billion-dollar support for the genocide of the Israelis, killing off upwards of 50,000+ Palestinians, including older people, young people, children, were massacred in this war. Who? And the same people at the post never said nothing about the 50 million and more that Trump has come in and said, yes, I want to continue to send that money. So how you want to condemn this part and then you left up this part? No, man. Old people say the knife where they stick the sheep, you know, flip it. That is the same knife where you have to stick the goat. So be straight. Welcome, caller. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, morning, Nuri.
Yes, welcome, brother.
Yes, yes.
How things in the south, man?
Well, the south nice, beautiful, and green right now. Rain.
Yes.
Right. Good. This morning, again, you are hearing me year after year, but like, you know, like I always tell people, like, you can't give up when you have a fight, because if you give up, the bad guys win.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know how many years we fight to get the presents at the cartoon, and now we have a very nice present at the cartoon.
Yes, sir. And kudos to you and your team and all the Belizeans that supported that, my brother. I mean, that is a sign that if you want to do something, you got to be persistent over a long. I remember the years that you were being condemned as a provocateur. You were trying to cause trouble. You get in problems, but you stood your ground. And I'm not only talking about you, Will, but all the others who wanted to do that. And now we see a positive change in that direction.
Positive change, and you know, kudos to the government for allocating.
Yes, man. But they listen. That's the thing. They listen. Yeah.
Yeah, very comfortable, you're saying, guys. And as a result, we are going to reap the benefits. Because, you know, we are very tricky. You go down south, people never used to go fishing front of Barranco and place because they was taken over by the Guatemalans. Yeah. But for more than like 20 years, I never see the size of shrimp where they show up at PG market now. They can't believe it when they used to one go down. Yeah. Now, then they go
Indeed,
happen, you know?
indeed.
Because there's less illegal fishing. The illegal fishing still happens to a certain extent, but like I would say, cut by like 90 to 95%.
Good, man, good. That's progress.
Yeah, and you know, kudos to the BDF and the Coast Guard and, you know, whoever else, the NGOs who help to enforce the fisheries regulation.
Yes, yes,
right?
yeah.
So
Can I tag on to that just by saying, based on what the other caller was talking about, activists. You're an activist, and an activist can be seen as a person who is dealing with an issue because the issue is affecting them right away, and they will get out and do what they have to do to address that particular issue. But then there are people who are activists almost like that's their DNA. They're always activating concern for certain issues that are happening in the society. And so he pointed out Godwin Hulse, he pointed out Giovanni Brackett, Solf. There was one other name that he mentioned, but the point is, we also have what you call seasonal activists. People who rise to the occasion because something is in front of them, but when they feel that that issue has been addressed, they recede. They go back into normalcy, if that's what you call that kind of space. Yeah, but when the season is there, then jump up. So the union, for example, people will say, well, how come the BNTU is so quiet? The BNTU was getting ready to raise up one hell here in January, but because of the negotiation with the ministry, that Ms. Callis is saying they're satisfied that that issue that they were concerned has been addressed. It don't mean that they are standing down, but it means that the threat that they had for what would have happened in January is not there. But you also have the retired civil servants or civil officers, public officers, whose money was taken and put into a certain project to assist the government during its time when it was having problems. It was during Mr. Esquivel's time. They are now saying that the money is tied up in litigation and they can't get their money and they want their money. So they are raising up again, if you notice, and planning and threatening that they want to get out there every day until the government responds. Of course, the government, through the Prime Minister, has responded to them. But if they don't get what they want, they will advance. So I guess I'd say, Will, using you as a seasonal activist that has created many, many opportunities, that we can't give up when we stand for what we believe in. We have to have the courage to move forward, and the fear that we have many times is a fear internal. It's not necessarily the environment that is causing the fear. Sometimes, as the President Roosevelt said, your fear is the fear itself. So if you could get rid of that fear, you will see more clearly that this thing here is a principle that I have to stand on, and I will stand on it until I see a result out of it, as you did with the SARS student. I can remember when the minister was condemning you, they say, you know, both foreign minister, Elrington as well as Courtney, is a boy, they cause problems down south. What did they do? Then they provoke the situation. But look at what has happened. Forward operating base, better patrols in the area, more fish, more shrimp. So don't give up. If you stand for something, pursue what you stand for. You know, that's the reality.
Which is leading to why I call this morning.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's been years before 2020 and before 2015 about just the whole voting setup there, I believe. And then, you know, like I just hope that Mr. Mai over there at the Elections and Boundaries will be hearing, because this year after year I bring to their attention. For example, Nuri, you have voters in Santana Village who have to pass through two villages they are in Toledo East, right? But they have to pass through Toledo West to get back to Toledo East to cast their votes. So they have to come a total of about 12 miles to Cattle Landing from Santana to cast their votes. When they could go 2 miles, or 4 miles to Barranco. Which, you know, I mean, the whole Constitution says voting should be made easy for people to get there easily. You know, so, I mean, I have been saying this for years and years, and then people still have to travel all this time to come home vote. But, you know, to me, it is intentional, because when the political aware of these things and make the correction.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, like, I'm just so amazed at the districts. Not Belize City, like, at this fight that's taking place in Belize City right now with the UDPs, and they can't get their stuff together. But this is a Belize City thing because none of them, but even more surprising to me is the people in the districts, like, for example, from the Siboon to the Sarstoon, that is half of the country only have 4 area representatives, my brother. 4, right? When you go from Harlover to Bergdale, you have most about 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's so unfair. And what amazes me about all this fight within the UDP right now, that none of the UDP standarderas from the districts, especially the South, are even calling on the UDP. Well, this is the time they're going to join the BPM and force the government to have a redistricting before election. But no, they focus on Belize City. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, none of the district standarderas are raising this when they are the ones that have it so hard to go 100 miles in one division.
Yeah.
You know? So it's crazy, and I just hope that, you know, other people, like, you know, the Chamber of Commerce, the churches, you know, we did, or the NGO credits, the DNN, we got a response from them as a peace movement to at least hear what we are talking about, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Belizeans, we need to, like, you know, everybody, like, consume with the leaf right with the UDP and PUP, in a lee ring, when we have a big ring down here that needs attention, you know.
Yeah. And what you're saying there in terms of that taking 12 miles to go vote, that's almost like the argument that they have that states about voter suppression, because in fact, you are not allowing a person to exercise their vote if you're not providing the wherewithal for them to do it in the easiest manner. If a person can walk across the street to cast their vote, but in another area they have to catch bus or catch ride or something like that in order for them to cast their vote, that's another form of voter suppression. But thanks, brother. I gotta go with this this time check. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the time.
All right, good. It's 7:34, and this time check is brought to you by Fort Point Security. Stay tuned.
You're watching WB, and this is XTV. I want to say a big respect to 4 Point Security and Euphrates Auto Rental. Now, to say question of the day, election they come up, the talking they out there, everybody don't know, all right? It might be in a March, maybe or maybe not. But guess what? We could find out the people in 2 cents if they do got a choice for me select whosoever they want to be their candidate, free represent name. Let's go find out people in 2 cents. Who you the one? Who you the one?
Nobody for me. I want to grab the English woman.
All right.
Stop to here.
If somebody, who would prefer to run for your community? Who would want to be the candidate for?
Well, big Zeros Andrew Mornings. I think he had a right fit for back here for Port, Andrew Mornings.
All right.
I think he had a right fit for back here, that the man.
That you're 2 cents.
Most definitely, Andrew Mornings are the mate, that the man, that
All
general.
Right. All right. Who do I run for Port? Who do I run for Port? All right. Who do I run for Port like you are? Who do I run? Me. Me I run. You don't run? Who you are run? The one nobody run for your community. How you? Me to I run. All right, good. Run for your community. It's upcoming election.
Boy, I can't answer that, brother. I can.
That you're 2 cents.
All right.
One run. Represent you.
Why, anyone guy already.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't find out the people in 2 cents already. All right, we're going to the Port area. We have messed up Lake and all the rest of communities just to find out from the people in who they want to represent them in their community. Big up to 4 Point Security and Euphrates Auto Rental. All right, WB2 St. Cam. The campaign election start now.
of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are
That is Brother Ja Miracle, George Street boy. But like interesting conversation in just 5 minutes. This man gave me a lot to see if we could unload and unpack. Firstly, welcome, my brother.
Yes, give thanks for having me here. We're grateful to be here.
And we appreciate your presence here. Let's start. We heard a little bit of his music. He's an artist. He's a reggae artist. He brings his message through the music, and we appreciate his being present with us this morning. So, welcome. Let's get into your bio, so to speak.
Yes.
You are living in the States.
Yes, continental U.S. at the current moment. Yes, I reside in New York. We founded the Golden Arc Records studio production label 2017 in Brooklyn, New York, alongside one of my fellow members of the community who is also a Belizean as well, Darrell Flowers, they call him D-Flow. He's also my engineer and one of my producers as well.
All right, excellent. Yeah. And I understand that you have 3 different locations. Are you doing music in all of those areas, production of the?
Yes,
or just your studio?
Networking in those 3 different locations for various means to contribute to the music propulsion.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, good. Your background, Reese used to tell me that you are a champion basketball player some years ago, and you started. Tell me a little bit about that history.
Well, that's a ticking time, you know. From such time, myself, Roscoe Reese, Carlisle Grabber, as I know him, Carlisle Barrow. He also facilitator, administrator, also a basketball camp for the youths. We founded the 3rd generation ballers at the time, and I found it to be something very needed because it was also done for via channels like Polar Lightburn. We had the Future Shack. I was a part of that. So I thought it was very essential that I take up that mantle and, you know, start to make certain moves in the direction of helping and aiding the youth to learn the sport of basketball.
You told me that you spend a lot of time through the music, talking to youth and the concerns of young people.
Yes.
What area of concern do you express mostly in your music towards young people? Let me put that into a context. That's kind of broad. There are a lot of challenges facing our young people, not only socioeconomic challenges, but certainly a lot of their mental space today is challenged because of choices that are in front of them, and a lot of these choices come through undisciplined media influences. And when you, as a conscious person, look out at youth today, what do you say to them in terms of keeping them on the track of personal development and social development, if you can?
Well, first and foremost, one of the most important things is the need for education. And education not necessarily just through the schools, because institutions will have ill-prepared us in our whole time span of living for what the society will present to us. So institutions have a guideline for us to be educated for a certain purpose solely. However, we need to broaden our spectrum of education. Particularly, we have to have that drive, that want, that need, that taste, that thirst, that hunger for learning. If we are then able to align ourselves with learning, particularly expand our learning, we will then have the power to, you know, because education brings the power that you need to convey the right attributes in life in order to set yourselves free. So a lot of the burdens that we face is because of the lack of education in many places. So on a broad spectrum, I highlight and elaborate the need for education through the music. And if you have the, you know, ear for the music, you will learn that this is my conversation continuously, you know, learning, coming to that apex of your wise mind, wise bank, wisdom as they may call it, and deal with the equation of love, deal with the equation of togetherness, deal with the equation of oneness, and seeing yourself as a part of a whole. Yeah,
very important, insightful ideas that you're expressing there. You work with youths in general, or do you focus on a specific group of youth with specific concerns?
Well, based upon the broad spectrum of where music and the conveying of messages through music can take us, there is none in just particular that we want to reach out to. We want to reach out to the entire universe. Even if the galaxies can twinkle when we speak, we want to see the galaxy twinkle. So all youths in all areas of life, doesn't matter if you come from China, if you come from Mexico, if you come from United States, if you come from
you sound like Peter Tosh. Yeah, so you try generally to sprinkle your knowledge wherever it can grow, and that's
the earth is the last of the fullness thereof. So we must deal with the earth as one, as a spectrum.
Yes, yes, and Allah says that the earth belongs to Him, and so you should not limit yourself in expressing everywhere. You are here in Belize. Reese tells me. Not necessarily for concert, but if you are able to be at Dara's concert, you will be there. But other than that, I put it out there. But other than that, what is your agenda going to be like over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I have a few things in alignment with a couple of schools, if not one in particularly. The one that my brother, my PR management, Anderson,
good PR too. I'm thinking about hiring him for myself.
I'm supposed to be speaking at a forum to the youths about the propulsion of going forward in life.
What school is that?
The elementary school.
Belize Elementary.
Yeah, Belize Elementary.
Okay.
There's so much things in my head sometimes.
No problem.
To recall certain things.
Yes.
The most important thing is the children. So it's not just the school name, right? So it's about dealing with the youths, them, and as much as we can speak to them. Other than that, family, spending time with the loved ones as well is very much important. It's been quite a while since I was here 11 months ago thereabout, and I didn't have enough time because it was a 3-day visit. And from that marking of that time, it was probably 25 years since I've been back here. So it's very important that I
spread out,
elaborate in all direction as much.
So when you go down the George Street and Blue Street, which is where your original navel string is buried.
I would say in the entire area, which is considered to be the Gaza, I'm mostly from Forward Street. That's where my grandmother is, 69 Forward Street.
Yes.
So well, I grew up with the same people, the same family.
Same group. Interesting name too, but I'm not going into that area. But tell us about what you see as the youths in that area and the concerns and the challenges that they're facing compared to what you were dealing with when you were actually living here?
Well, through time, things just either get more rampant or they're gonna, deduct. And in my time myself, we had trivialous situations that we encountered, I mean, we all had, our battles in life. But one of the main things is, if I may say, that we have to, like I said earlier, the oneness, coming to that recognition of the oneness is very necessary. So it's not just to say that area. We know that area particularly has its so-called condemned already, but it's for the entire nation. We need to reverse, or we need to make a revolution. Whereas we start to see the need to express more care and compassion, love and respect amongst ourselves. Everywhere you go, you'll find, as I said yesterday on another talk show, Creme Mornings too, there's no place in the universe where positive and negative is not coexisting. No, it's how we're going to deal with the negative. Because the way how we deal with negative, I've also seen this staining effect also in the political fields. I wonder why, if it is for the betterment of a nation, Why do we always tend to have two opposing parties? That's where the wars usually start. You know, there's always oppositions. If we are all for the same purpose and reason, heartically and full spectrum, then it should be one government for the betterment of everyone. And likewise, this is the thing how it trickles down in our community now. Like, you know, the opposing ones who are not seeing eye to eye, ones create friction.
Indeed.
Create problems, and then these things here create bigger explosions. So we need to find that alignment to each other in a oneness, in a spectrum of love. It's very challenging because our hardship also presents, you know, a lot of these disturbing realities. But I always say, like, within the spectrum of knowing how mathematics work, you know, there's always cause and effect. Likewise, the same fields of physics. There's cause and effect. You push A with a force C, the result would be such. So we cannot expect not to get to the root of these things. And getting to the root of these things is one of the things I do through the music. As much as it will reach them, some it will not reach immediately, some it will reach in time. But we are here to present this as it is right now, the importance and the need for us to propel more music with great messages. Not the message that will make our children get up in the morning and feel like they need a flask of rum, or feel like they need to gun down someone, or feel like they need the woman degrading themselves and all these things. Most of the music that is penetrating our community today that are the attraction of the ears are those things that is negative. And we need to find a way to eradicate that somehow. But again, we all have a duty to do. We all have a responsibility, and with knowledge, having the power, choosing that responsibility and making sure we obligate ourselves to incline our intuitions and our wisdoms to bring better change.
I think anybody is listening to you, brother, and by the way, his last name really is, in English, Miracle. And I'm not going into, boy, I'm almost tempted to go into why this man is called a miracle, but you can hear a new voice. You can hear the voice that attracts a lot of people in this day and time, that, you know, we need to go above and beyond the kind of negativity that many of us are incorporating through music, social media, etc. And when I listen to Ras Miracle, I hear the voice of being above that, and that we've got to hear a message of love and unity and working progressively instead of the hostility that comes with trying to run against and be better and those types of things. How much longer are you going to be here, and how much more than just Belize Elementary that you're going to cooperate? Are you going to spread out to some of the other schools?
Yeah, well, I intend to. I've reached out to some ones. Some discussions are already on the table.
All right.
For me to reach different places.
Is there a number? Because I'm sure there may be principals of schools, there might be youth organizations, scout organizations that might want to reach out to you and ask you if you could come and say something positive. Because listen, we need an army of positive thinkers, progressive thinkers. You point out politics, which has done a lot to divide and weaken us, because we are always running against what we think we have to oppose in the other group. But it affects our children, because many of our children are also getting into me against you, similar to how the politicians are doing it. And strangely, at one level, as the politicians have a red and a blue, at the base, we end up with red and blue too. So there's something in that. So we need to be able to bring a message of cohesiveness, of love, of respect. And sometimes we can't look to our political leaders because they only pontificate about unity. But at the base, we really need to have real unity. So is there a possibility that you're going to be at some of these other schools?
For anyone to reach out
to
us.
Give that number.
You may 74170, I believe.
74170.
Yeah, that's a direct line. I don't know.
But wait, that's only 5 numbers here.
I don't really remember how the Belize thing run.
You got a number?
What is your number, brother?
Reese? 605 5703. So if somebody wants to, maybe a teacher, a coach, or somebody want to just bring him in for a half hour or so, 605-5703. I'd advise that they give you a call and arrange for something. Well, let's get some closing points, Brother Miracle. I don't want to go into your personal thing, but I was amazed to hear that you really believe in that idea of, be fruitful and multiply, as the as the New Testament say. I may think I got a lot of picnic, but boy, you are way out there, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, the journey never stops. I mean, we are every day there's seeds coming, seeds growing, trees growing.
Literally, you're talking about seeds, not just in the earth, but in the womb.
In the general concept of seeds.
Tell me, how old is your oldest child?
Well, my oldest child would be about 25.
25.
Yeah.
And your youngest?
1.5 years, 2 years old.
All right, good. And you're balanced off with those number that you gave me, equal boys and girls? Or?
The girls are one more than the boys.
All right.
Yeah, in that spectrum of that number.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a closing comment now, brother, and please give us your.
Well, again, the importance of oneness and togetherness is an urgent need, very, very urgent need. We're affecting ourselves at a level where it shouldn't be at this point. We are a small country, if I may say, and within the entire spectrum of the world, we are on one in the 10th, somewhat ranked in the 10th. For careless murders, careless, violence and all these things. And if you really check our population compared to these other highly developed nations who have not even made that scale on that 10, 1 to 10, it reflects bad on us. So we need to, I think, first and foremost, parents must understand the need to foster education, to inspire their children, to be there for their children, to care for their children on more than one level than just paying rent as your parents, or paying the fees and the dues, and finding just time to, say one or two words. We need to be more responsible as parents, first of all, such that the children can stay closer to the root of righteousness. And again, it's also for the children also to be responsible enough. As you're growing, I know you may come to the point where you recognize and have the knowledge to make wise choices and better choices. We must, find that within ourselves to make better choices. We must aspire more for education outside of just what institution brings to us and call education. Education is so broad and elaborated if you really go into it, that you should not even have time to idle. And they say idle hands is the something, right? Yeah. We don't want to bring the devil here, but it is what it is.
Indeed.
So pay more attention to what is more needed. We need love amongst ourselves. We need to forgive. We need to eradicate the self-hatred. And I expressed a bit of this yesterday, but maybe didn't go far enough inside it. We tend to have a sense of self-hatred, and it's all around the world, it's not just only here, that we don't want to appreciate ourselves in our natural state, in our natural being. We want everything outside of ourselves to make ourselves happy, to make ourselves comfortable. And there is no light to find if you cannot establish the light inside yourself. Other than that, you will have animosity. You will have problem with your brother, because if you see your brother with things that you think you don't have and you should have, then you might think that you have to take that or what he have or what she have. And this needs to be, we need to bring a hole on these things from inside. We need to examine self-love. I see a lot of people today, and I don't knock any of the industries, but most of the industries which are selling products vast amount of products. I'm not just talking about the accessories, but it pulls people away from knowing their true selves. It pulls people away very megalithic, in a megalithic way. That
I agree with you.
It harms our community. So
Indeed, and very artificial.
we must appreciate ourselves or love ourselves, and love one another more.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Forgiveness is key. And one of the key thing is 7 times 70, as they say, and even more if you can.
Yes. And that is, it's interesting you should say that, that there's a quote from the Prophet Muhammad.
True.
That it is important.
Yes.
We will have less reason why we have to jump after each other like tiger.
Indeed.
You see?
Indeed.
I want to tell you how much we appreciate just the few minutes you spent with us here, brother. It has been inspirational just to hear you coming from inside of yourself with such deep thought.
True.
And I'm sure you resonated with people out there because we're searching. We recognize there's something off with this world.
True.
And we're really looking to go and draw more towards that will heal us.
Yes.
So that we could be a vessel for healing others.
Truly.
So I suggest that those who would like to be with you, not maybe just to give you the greetings,
True.
if not to invite you to speak, to call 605-5703.
Yes.
And I thank you very much.
Give thanks for being here.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Respect.
All
sir.
right.
All right.
Have a great day.
Let's take our next break and we'll be back. right, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Nuri Muhammad for this Thursday morning, the 30th day of January, the first month of the year 2025. And we welcome you. Our phone numbers, our phone lines are open again at 280-5848. As I said, and I can continue to talk about this because I see it very relevant, this old Creole saying, don't listen to the noise in the market. Check your change. Find out exactly what you're about. And be careful that you don't get distracted from what you're about. We are developing and growing as a small nation. We got our own challenges. That's why I asked my friend if there was ever a time where we was tranquilo and everything was all right. I don't remember that time. I remember that we were always struggling. There were always issues in front of us. It's a dynamic that is going on in the world. We're not in some kind of utopian situation where, boy, everybody they make the salary where they want, everybody got the health care where they want, everybody have the highest level of education where they want. We don't got that. We got challenges after challenges after challenges. Here's the next call. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, Nuri. This is Candice calling on two matters.
All right. Welcome.
First of all, I would like to refer Belizeans to the letter written by Caroline Kennedy to the Senate, to the senators, dealing with the approval or rejection of her cousin Robert Kennedy to be the Secretary for Health.
Okay.
Health, but I don't know if that's the exact title, Health Matters.
Yeah, something like that.
Responsible for Medicare, Medicaid.
Right. I didn't see it.
Administration, NHI, the Centers for Disease Control, etc.
Right. What did she say?
And I don't know if you have read the letter and heard her reading of it on YouTube.
Not yet.
But Caroline Kennedy has given, in my opinion, an example to the world and to communities like ours in particular, which prefer to be non-critical of family, friends, and colleagues, etc.
Okay.
Evidently, she didn't do her criticism of her cousin easily. It wasn't a criticism that she was waiting to do. But she did the criticism at the end when she weighed her cousin vis-a-vis her nation and her people and decided to make representation against her blood cousin on behalf of the American people. That's a page a society like ours can take from her. Now that America is equally prone to not being self-critical, and especially the royal family. The Kennedys are not people who will hang their linen out in public, but in this case, this member of this family decided to do so, as I said, in the interest of the nation state and of the society that lives in that nation state. We could learn a lot from that here because we are in the mess we are, because we, in great part, because they are a small society, highly connected by blood and friendship and relationships. And so we don't criticize, we do not put on the critical analysis on the microscope, friends and family and colleagues. We don't do that.
Yeah, not in public.
And so our leadership gets away with all kinds of wrongdoing because we are not going to criticize. We don't criticize mommy, daddy, daughter, son, niece, nephew, grandpa. What? We don't do that.
Unless we hate you, yeah, we try.
Understanding that they're humans and humans make errors.
Yeah.
But we don't live by that rule. So I'm recommending everybody to try and get a hold of that letter and the video where she reads it.
Okay.
My next reason for calling is I caught a piece of the news this morning, and I am in agreement with the government to not be shoving everybody that comes off a plane deported into jail. And it seems to me, I didn't know that's what the Belizeans want them to do. But it seems, if I understand rightly, the Belizean public, I don't know to what extent, is agitated, some or many, I'm not sure how many, about the re-entry of deported persons into this country. This action of the United States Nuri gives all of us a chance in the Caribbean and Latin America to evaluate the causes, the origins, the forces that led to deportation, to mass migration out of the region. And now, a consequent mass return, deportation of those people back into the region.
Yeah.
We have to examine what led to this. And that will help us to have a broader understanding of the problem. We don't have a broad understanding of the problem. Our people in Belize don't have any idea why, let's say, people from Ocotepeque in Honduras ended up crossing Honduras from west to east, south to north, and end up in Belize. We don't, a whole population also, they're not here anymore. Most of them have returned, or God have left. But why that happened? In that case, that happened because of the Contra War in Nicaragua. And then the Civil War raging in El Salvador. So Ocotepeque was trapped between two civil wars. And that caused mass migration out of Nicaragua and Salvador into that area and put a pressure on labor, because that is a coffee-growing area. So, and have other agricultural products. And labor is cheap. And the migrants were prepared to work at an even cheaper rate than was already being paid. That then put pressure on the local population, whose response was to try and move out of the area in order to survive. Some of them went to work in the cruise industry, all of that went to the United, and some ended up in Belize. And those that ended up in Belize did not come to Belize initially really to say. They thought they were en route to the United States, and then decided that Belize offered them, if not as good a life as the United States, a better life than they had where they were from. So these are all the reasons. And then our leadership, our people have, especially in the case of Belize, have to, if we have a national discussion and a fruitful discussion, a broad discussion, an honest discussion, then our leadership will have to help account. They were all ready to do exactly what Mr. Trump wants to do with Greenland. Take advantage of calamity to make money. That was a calamity. That's not all that migration and civil war in Latin America was a calamity, an utter calamity. But we decided we are going to do what we can make our pay, and so what? The churches in this country wanted new membership so that the pastors could get, we'll have more pastors and more money circulating. The real, those who are part of it, the politicians, the business people wanted cheaper labor.
And the vote, and the vote, and the vote,
service providers,
and the vote.
the politicians wanted voters.
Right.
And all of those reasons came together, and on the root, our mass immigration.
Yeah.
They will have come, but they definitely came more because of that. So let us have a frank discussion. I am with the government. You can't be just shoving people into jail. To start with, Mr. Trump, look at the illegality he's doing with Guantanamo Bay.
Exactly.
Guantanamo Bay, everybody has been clamoring for Guantanamo Bay to be shut down. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Biden brought it to an end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did, yes.
The last word said, no, he's reviving it.
Exactly.
To force people who are only accused of a crime, have not been convicted of a crime, have been accused of a crime. So our people need to get more sophisticated absolutely right, and I'm supporting that. You can't be showing people. That is not the way to deal with this matter. Don't you agree with it? Our people need to learn the truth about
absolutely.
this whole solar migration.
Absolutely. And again, sleep with your own eye and excellent. Yeah. I agree with you, Sister Sandra. I think it's essential that our people sleep with their own eye and don't be listening to all this propaganda. For example, when we think about deportee, the first thing that comes to our mind are criminals. And many of these people that are being deported may not have been involved in any kind of criminal activity at all. They just overstayed in time.
And Nuri, it's not maybe, it is definite.
Yes.
They are admitting it.
Yeah.
Look at what happened with Guatemala. Now, when I first heard the report on Guatemala in the international media, because they don't know the Guatemalan situation, they presented it as though Guatemala had opened its doors to holiday and every discarded migrant out of the United States. That is not so.
No, not at all.
And I'm very, I personally apologize if I misunderstood Guatemala, but it was from the international report. Do you know, Nuri, that they took in the first 2 flights of recent, because everybody has been receiving deportees over a long stretch of time.
Exactly.
But this new incident occurred at 3 o'clock in the morning, Nuri.
Yeah.
3 in the morning, and it was at the military base, and it was heavy security, and Lord knows what all. Why would you be moving people at 3 in the morning, Nuri?
Yeah, in military transport at that, when you can afford to put them on a plane and send them back. These people consciously have helped to build your country, and now you're just kicking them out? You mean to tell me you can't say, thank you, get on a plane, get on a jet, and go back to the country?
And one man said that they came for him, but he decided he wanted his wife and children, but the children did not go. So I don't know where the children are. And another thing we have to follow is the rise of privatized prisons all over America as we speak.
Again, it's coming up. It was heavy in the 80s, went down. Yeah.
Just a minute, Nuri. One of the important, current, important investment assets on the stock market. Man, listen to me. This is serious. So you're probably right. Do not just swallow down anything they're telling you on the international media, because I follow 4 languages, international media in 4 languages. And I didn't understand. I decided, I said, I want to hear what Guatemala is saying. And came across in the process a report on CNN in Spanish, confirming what the Guatemalan media was saying. You see? An extensive report in Spanish on CNN. So, I didn't know that I had no idea the regions were clamoring for this until the report said it this morning, and I was taken aback. I said, man, you all don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
He's
amazing.
going to reopen Guantanamo Bay. Which the U.S. court had prescribed as illegal and incorrect.
Completely. Yeah, it's been proven it's wrong from Obama's time. They've been trying to close it down because of the legal redress, because of the embarrassment coming internationally that you are a country.
Because of inmates who won cases?
Yes. And look, you have been saying to the world that you follow the principle that you are innocent until you're proven guilty. You have turned that whole thing up then and you say you are guilty, now prove that you're innocent.
All of that comes into play. You see?
Yes.
Our people have to assess to what degree our leadership is responsible for that migration.
Yeah.
There are other factors, but when you are evaluating a problem, you can't necessarily correct the wrongdoing of the other factors, people, actors. So, but you can correct your own, or you can accept the responsibility for your own contribution and rectify to the extent you are able to.
Yeah.
We have to do that. We have to do that because our people did not, the beliefs I grew up in as a child did not have anything near the level of murders that we have now, stealing, robbery. We didn't have those things. So we need to examine what led to all of
these
what brought us about.
Absolutely.
And be prepared to do what Caroline Kennedy did and tell the truth, even if it's about mommy, daddy, grandpa, uncle, auntie, sister, brother. We have to be prepared to do that.
Absolutely.
And I am taken aback. How are you going to make that decision that you want to cram people into jail and all of that? And you don't have any idea what is happening in the international world. Go to Europe. Mr. Trump has now designated illegal persons illegal as criminals. They are not criminals under American law.
No, you're not. Yeah.
And by the way, nobody will be able to solicit refugee status.
Yeah.
So now, what are they going to do with a country like this? Force us to accept refugees when they don't want to accept refugees?
Very important question, Sister Sandra, like usual. Thank you very much, no?
Bye.
All right, all the best. All right, we take our next break and we have some guests coming in. We got a lot to discuss, but inshallah, we'll pick it up tomorrow if that space is available. But we're in a transition, and it's very important that you pay attention. This is part of checking your change. So let's be break. right, welcome back. After all that seriousness, we want to
laugh a little bit.
Make you laugh a little bit and make you relax a little bit. Because, you know, they say God created laughter and tears. You can't laugh too much, but you can't cry too much neither. So we were listening to some very heavy stuff earlier. Now we're going to laugh a little bit. We've got as our guest first promoter Delroy Fairweather. You know him. He's a promoter and artist of various genres of music and comedy and all kind of things, right?
Yeah, we're going to slash the music part. Yeah, because if I sing and rain.
Welcome, Brother Delroy.
Man, thanks, brother.
And we have a guest who is only one of several. We have Mr. Keener, Derek Keener.
Yes.
Who is from Texas, that is also Arkansas. Maybe I explained that, but
Nuri, you got it right.
Welcome, my brother.
Hey, listen, I feel welcome.
You feel welcome?
I'm back behind the fence.
All right. You know, I'm putting it on. Yeah. Back at the fence. Yes. Welcome. Let's start with you, Brother Fairweather. What's going on?
Well, limited time, so, you know, let's jump into it. I know the people that don't want a car.
Look like they want a car. You want them to take the car?
No.
All right. As long as this is about the show, please. If it's not, then call us tomorrow. If it's about the, we don't want to get off the topic. We're up on comedy right now. You talking about comedy or what?
No, I'm not talking about.
All right, call us tomorrow. Go ahead.
Oh, now that's some real stuff right there. This is a black TV show. And this is definitely a black TV show. You don't know
No, so, Comedy Belize, we're doing 2 events this week. So tonight we're starting off with the R&B bingo, which will be held at the Tropical Larder. Everybody know it as Tropical Larder / the venue. This is right next to where the old Mirab was, no? The R&B bingo, very nice interactive game where you play the conventional bingo, but just that the cards are filled with music. So when they pick that specific song, then you sing interactive, you know, and you get prizes and stuff like that.
Right, good.
Yeah, so
that's innovative.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's something one of the guys, comedian Hot Topic, has brought to Belize, right? So we're working on that. 7:30 with the start tonight. You know, and we work along with Madisco to assist us with that. Now, Saturday night, that's the grand show.
That's the blowout.
Yeah, that's it. And trust me, it's a blowout because they guys that no holds barred.
That's right.
You know, it's for the grown and sexy.
I see.
I know they use the term sexy wrong here a lot. Yeah, farmer. Well, I don't know if I'm a farmer co-host or whatever, but the man said that no look sexy.
You're talking about David Almonda.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, man. Yeah. But you know, we have one exciting lineup. We have James Pollard. He's from River Valley. He's from through the old Northern Highway.
All right.
We have our good friend sitting, well, people haven't seen her as yet, on the set right now, but she's right there sitting there, Gina G, too funny.
Yes.
We have a good friend, Derek.
She a Belizean too?
No, she's American.
American. That's a new language. They're not from theaters of the...
No, we call it American, you know. Back in the days, we have...
Welcome, sister.
Yeah, man, we have Derek Keener, very good. We have comedian Hot Topic. And then we also have Belizean / American Mike Samp, his mom, you know, practically have roots right here, in the south side area. Right?
Very good.
So the show will be held at the Biltmore, and it starts at 7 p.m. sharp.
All right.
Doors open from 6, and when we say it starts 7 p.m. sharp, this is on a 7 Belizean time.
Oh,
yeah, this is at 7 p.m. sharp. Tickets $60. You could get tickets at the Biltmore. You could use the Quick Pass ticket in Napa. A lot of people are familiar with that Quick Pass.
Very good.
I don't want to exclude anybody from the show.
No.
You said it's grown and sexy, and we don't want the ugly people not to come. We put an ugly comedian on the show. James Pollard is on the show. Oh yeah, we gotta have it. There you go, right there. Look.
Hey, bro.
On cue. And so we don't want the just sexy people. We want unsexy people need to laugh too. If I wasn't sexy, I'd want to smile.
I hear you.
You know, they just You know,
if you weren't sexy.
Listen, I threw that in there. Because I'm sexy, belly and all.
I see. Okay. Where are you from, Mr. Keener?
Man, I'm from a place called Texarkana. And it's in it sits in on the border of Arkansas and Texas.
I see. That's
and my father was a pastor. My mother worked at the school.
Okay.
And yeah, I used to get a lot of
why did you end up being a stand-up comedy?
Well, I saw my daddy talk to people, and they was listening to him.
Okay.
And they sat there and listened every week, and I thought that was cool.
All right.
But I didn't want to get up.
He wasn't preaching no jokes though.
Nah, but I was making jokes while he was preaching, and that's how I started this right here.
Yes,
I told my daddy, I was 12. I'll never forget this. I told my dad, I said, one day when I'm 44 years old, I'm gonna meet a man named Nuri in Belize.
Yeah, is that right? You knew about Belize when you were 12 years old.
When I was 12 and my dream has come true. Take me now, Lord. No, don't take me. But no, man, listen, it's always been what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then you get the chance to work.
This is your first time in Belize?
This is my second time in Belize.
Second time, all
man,
right.
I was here back in September, and I had an amazing time. Listen, Delroy is a class act.
He is, man.
The way he treats us, the Belizean people, they've treated us wonderfully.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm coming back home.
All right.
I feel like this is home. So yeah, we got a great cast. Gina G, Mike Sam, comedian Hot Topic. He's the one that coordinates everything with we here to have a good time. And I'm here for the Belizean women.
James Pollard.
If there's any Belizean woman out there that believes she want to find out what Texas is like, I'd like to show you.
See, okay, Texarkana. You better be careful you won't come into Carnatex.
Hey, let me
I'll leave you with that one.
Hey, I'm back behind the fence now, so do what you want to do.
This is not your first promotion.
No. I've been doing promotions from like 2019, and like I said, I could recall the first time, the first show that we did back 2019. Yeah, this was the first place we actually came.
Wasn't that pandemic time?
No, that was before the pandemic. Just before the pandemic.
All right,
yeah. And Nuri, just to let folks know that part of the proceeds for this show is going towards helping cancer treatment.
Andrea here or in the States?
Well, she's doing treatment in the U.S. right now.
It's a particular person?
Yeah. Because what happened September, I had worked along with her to do a fundraising event using the same QuickPass app. Okay. And I told her, I said, you know what, the next show I'm doing here, we'll just take a part of the proceeds.
Okay, you want to share her name or is that?
Andrea Ely. And my sister just went through breast cancer and she's a survivor. Maureen Fairweather, and things that, and like I said, it's something that gives you courage and drive to assist.
It's a more bigger purpose than just a money-making venture.
And the whole cancer thing, it's rampant about Belize throughout the world, anything that we could do
especially breast cancer.
So
I wonder if because women stop breastfeed so much on it.
I'm not sure, but I'm actually willing to help the ladies if they think they need a breast exam. I'll be doing them.
Oh, so you kind of like a doctor too?
Oh, brother, let me tell you something. I get that cancer right about you, man. I get that cancer right about you. And I want to say, Delroy has actually taken his promotional talents to the States as well.
Oh, okay.
But he's been promoting midget wrestling.
So that one's freaky. Midget wrestling?
Man, Nuri, I tell you, the last show that we had, like I said, Derek was on the show. You could actually look at the pictures. You go on Comedy Belize Facebook page and the Instagram page, and you will see the reaction. You could go further back. Gina G was here last year, and likewise, and I always try to incorporate having a female comedian in all the promotions, because you know what?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We'll take our next break. We'll throw out Arkansas.
Yeah, man. I don't want to bring
Texarkana. And then we'll bring in our sister.
Yes, man.
No, we'll just throw you in. Let's take the break.
When you bank your way, it's a
welcome back, and we just got enough time to share with you another one of the performers that will be at this mega event to take place on
Saturday, February 1st. Best Western Biltmore Belize Hotel, Northern Road, 7 o'clock sharp.
All right.
Please make sure doors are open from 6.
All right.
Not on 7:01, not on 7:02, because from 7 o'clock the show the kick off.
All right, good.
But listen, may come late, no matter, we are still accommodate you.
We are still let you in.
Yeah, man, we are still let you in.
And what is this bingo thing that is happening?
So it's that's tonight at like I said, the venue, aka otherwise known as what most people know it as Tropical Larder. That's starting at 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
And this will include the same artists that you have?
Yeah, then guys will definitely.
So how will they make a bingo game funny?
Trust me.
Okay, good. Innovation.
Yeah, then guys, just being around them, you can't help. You're just a laugh.
All right, good. Well, I've been laughing since they came in this year, so maybe it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Well, let's introduce another one of your stars, and she is the lady from Inglewood, California, where the fires were. I know you may be up in somebody in Inglewood when they say, that then the bun, I know we the bun, but you're from California. Miss Gina. Miss Gina G.
Come on now.
Am I okay? Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about your background. I mean, we heard from Mr. Arkansas. Tell us about you.
Oh man, me. I never wanted to be a comedian.
You never wanted to be?
No, didn't think I was going to be a comedian at all. But I wait tables at the J Spot, which is a comedy club from
Yeah.
And one day I just got up there.
Yeah.
And ever since that day,
Improv.
And ever since that day, I can't see my life without it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Do you know, and I was saying this to my wife the other day, that because the world is in the space it is right now, people actually need comedians.
Yes.
And it's not Three Stooges kind of comedian. It's not slapstick. It's actually taking real issues of Mr. Trump, Mr. Biden, etc., and actually making people and provoking people to laugh in these reality. Tell me about that kind of genre.
Well, they still trying to slap people. If you've seen, people still trying to slap, but we ain't taking no mess. But you just want to be real, real life experiences, like what's going on with Trump. I almost didn't make it, because my Uber driver got deported. So I almost didn't make it here, so it's really serious about what's going on. I haven't had an avocado or orange, nothing ever since this stuff has been going on, and I love my fruits and vegetables. So it's just, just taking serious issues, because if we don't laugh, we are going to cry. You understand?
Absolutely.
So it's just making light of everything that you can, because we need laughter. It's good for the soul.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You have been involved in this how long?
Ooh, I've been doing comedy maybe 11 years.
11 years?
Yeah.
So that means that would have put you around 12 years old?
Yeah, well, you know. you is. No, okay.
Paul.
This is definitely a Paul situation. He's giving Frankie Beverly, but anyway. No, I appreciate that, but I am grown.
Oh, okay.
I'm a grown woman. I'm grown.
So, how many other comedians will be on the genre?
On stage? Yeah, we have total 4 plus the host.
And are they all Americans, or do you have some Belizean?
One Belizean, James Pollard, and the other 4.
The man with strictly here in the...
Yeah. They
go fried jack.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love fried jack.
He looks like my grandson. No relative, but he just got that.
Yeah, no. Well, we just found out that him and Mike Samp, they are cousins. Yeah, one of the performers where they come perform for the first time in Belize.
All right.
Yeah,
very good. Very
so.
Good. Yeah, well, we wish you the best, and we hope that your endeavor will be successful, particularly raising some money for a cancer patient. And that's a very good thing to do.
It is,
You're
definitely.
not just making money, you're not just presenting these people, but you have a silver lining there to try and help.
And I wish other promoters would kind of look at it. Yeah, because, a lot of people come out for the entertainment, and it doesn't have to be anything, because, they all say in one cocoa full the basket.
Absolutely.
So, guys, cancer, like I said, rampant about Belize. try help out somebody because you know, like I said, I saw what my sister went through. Luckily for her, she had insurance, but you have other people who don't. And even with the insurance, Nuri, you know, you still have to come out of pocket. Yeah, the little bit that you do, trust me, going along. You know,
well, let me say also that one of the things that we're faced with in Belize is the increase in renal failure.
Yes.
Which leads to people having cancer.
And that's the one that she has.
Of their kidney.
Yes.
And, you know, and right now, in order for a person to get a dialysis, it's costing upwards of $300.
Yeah.
And if they have to do that for 3 times a week, that's close to $1,000 Belize dollars a week to stay alive.
Yeah.
My sister's on
And most people in Belize can't afford that. Not even $1,000 a month, much less.
True.
So think about this idea that you can be a promoter, making some money, but find somebody that you could also assist with the help. And that kind of, to my mind, it's almost like money laundering. You could kind of like wash some of that money
That's right.
to do a good cause.
To do a good cause, yeah, man.
Anyway, give you a final word, Brother Delroy.
Yeah, well, guys, again, like I said, you know, I'm all excited to have this great lineup here in Belize. You know, again, like Gina, that's like my sister.
Yes.
Derek, my brother, comedian Hot Topic. Yo, that's my guy. James, you know, Mike Samp. We're looking forward to interacting with him more. You know, first time. But again, like I said, you know, tonight it starts off at the venue where we'll do the R&B bingo, and then from there on Saturday, that's when the show kicks off. Yeah, like I said, if you don't come out, trust me, I'll miss out. You know, laughter is good for the soul.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And I hope what you'll do too is start to put it on some media that people could pick it up afterwards. You know, in the old days, you used to sell tapes. I guess this modern thing has knocked out tapes.
No, we could definitely look at the next show and getting permission from them, of course.
Everybody wants to show up the building,
but
true. They may want to enjoy what you have there. So think about that as a promotion also. Just tell them, listen, every time you buy one tape, that's going to cancer. So buy that likewise. You know?
Definitely.
Well, we'll give our guest, Miss Gina, Too Funny, the final word. Miss Gina?
The final word is to give back, love one another, and laugh.
Yeah. All right. So, as you know, Delroy, when we end the show we kind of have one way we've adapted it from Mo's.
Yes,
and everybody used to it. I throw my Lee party night, but I love what he has put out there because indeed, Belizeans need to stand firm.
Stand strong.
And they need to stand strong.
Yes, sir.
And they need to do the right thing. But for now, we're gone!
Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show of people. Belize our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will happen like blue skies. I don't think that people get victimized.